Hello, my name is CD. I'm one of the 7 game runners for the Portent Kast second season of Summer of TTRPGs. Portent Kast is a queer, female, and non-binary actual play where we play TTRPGs of all sorts. You're tuning into episode 6, I believe, of this year's Summer's project. This is a series meant to help introduce and try out a bunch of different games and systems that you may not have heard of before or gotten a chance to play. Today, we will be playing Definitely Wizards, a TTRPG about not being a wizard, by Elliot H.T. This is a D6 based system where only wizard magic is allowed, and you have to take a practical exam to prove you're most definitely a wizard. Using 2 stats, wizard and wild. Joining me are my players. If my players would like to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Ava, or Madam Ava Couture. I use she, her pronouns, and my character also uses she, her pronouns. My character's name is Stella. She is the chosen one, and you can find me anywhere at Madam Ava Couture.
Hello, my name is Janice. I use she, her pronouns. My character is named Cal, and they go by they, them pronouns. And that may or may not be because there are 9 cats and 1 opossum in a trench coat. But who knows? And you can find me at Desidroll on Instagram and Twitch.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Earl Pierce, who is our collector. He, him pronouns. And I can be found at only number 1, like just the number 1, Chopstick, on Twitter.
Perfect. And I realized I skipped over myself. I am the game master of this. My name is CD. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me on most social medias under the Infinite. And you can find most of our social medias also linked in the description below. As well as all the other wonderful games that are going to be released for the summers and also other projects. Keep updated with us on any of the Portent Kast social medias like Twitter, TikTok, and subscribing to our YouTube where we'll be featuring this as well. But without further ado, let's get into this episode. Definitely Wizards, aka the Wiz Quiz. Diving right into a world where most magic is actually viewed wild and illegal, except for wizards. Only wizards are allowed as spellcasters. To become licensed to wield your magic, one must be approved by a series of tests and trials called the Wiz Quiz. Your team has gone through the written portion with seemingly ease, and now you have to face the last challenge, the practical exam. So we dive into the Wizard City, and more specifically, the Wisdom, the Wisdom, where we see our 3 participants, test takers, being ushered in by a very like stereotypical like wizard with like the pointed hat and with like the star pattern, like kind of flowy robe, very like long beard. It's kind of like twirled in at the end. He begins leading you into like the bigger like kind of arena-esque area. There's no people in the stands right now. It seems like this is more a like private just testing event, but it does have like the capacity to hold more events in the space. He begins leading you to essentially like a just random like door, just standing door. There's no like walls around it. It's just standing in like the center of the field, and there is like another like kind of like stern looking lady holding like a clipboard, again like a very wizard hat, as she like looks off at it. But she leads you all to that. The older wizard guy looks at her and she goes, "Thank you, Randolph, the rad wizard, for escorting our test takers to take our practical exam. You are dismissed, and you see he pulls out a skateboard from absolutely nowhere, just like a kickflip, and skates off into a different direction. And she looks down at the clipboard, looks up at you, and begins to essentially read off names. And as I read off the name, I'm gonna have you basically describe your character for everybody. So first up, she looks down and reads off the name Earl. Is there an Earl here?
Present. I'm here. And you just see a really old guy standing in front of you with what clearly looks to be a fake wand. And he's also got on his hip this box that reads on the front of it "Lost and Found."
Perfect. All right. She gives a little nod, crosses your name off the list, and looks down towards the next name, and goes, "All right. Next up is Stella. There's Stella. Which one of you is Stella?"
Present and here to dazzle, as always. And Stella steps forward a little bit, and all you see is just flaming red hair, very sharp cat-eyed glasses, and a robe that is so iridescent and shiny that it just blinds people that tends to be close to her, especially when light seems to bounce off of her.
Oh, man, that's bright.
I know! Aren't they just so wonderful?
The proctor kind of nods, kind of jots down a note, something about confidence, and gives an approving nod at that, for crossing your name off the list, and going to the next one, and goes, "All right, Cal," looking at the last figure.
What you see in this last figure is a long trench coat and a wizard's hat worn like a cowboy hat where it's covering the face. And you just hear a lot of weird shuffling that you don't see enough movement to understand where the shufflings come from. And then you hear, yes, I am here.
Is the voice coming from the mouth area or a different area?
It's like you could have sworn you heard it from the mouth area, but if it came from the chest/stomach area, you wouldn't be surprised.
Love that. I love that. She crosses off that last name, looks at the three of you and goes, "All right, well, my name is Mirage. I am your proctor for this exam. To give you a little bit of explanation, you are going to go through basically 4 chambers that are kind of randomly generated to test out your abilities as a wizard so that you can test your skills, perform them as such, and if you perform excellently, we will essentially give you your licensing, your certification to become a spellcaster in the eyes of the law and also wizard society as a whole." You see her eyes kind of shift a little, and she goes, "Now I must remind you all that wizard magic only. If there is any non-wizardly or wild magic, you will be arrested and put in the wild magic jail." And you see she kind of points up in a direction. This is it's like a temporary holding cell. It's not that well built for some reason compared to the rest of the building. And it just has a little sign on it that just says non-wizardly magic. And yeah, she kind of motions to that as a little warning and a reminder. It seems like she kind of has to do this as it's the rules. But also just yes, no wizard magic, no funny business essentially. And she goes, "All right, well, You will technically all be going in together. Whether you want to work together is up to you. If you feel you are capable by yourself, you're more than welcome to do that. It will not affect your score, regardless of that. Now, before you go into the actual testing chambers for the practical exam, you will be assisted by this, and she pulls out like basically like a round metal eyeball-esque thing, and she seems to like do something, and like it begins to float on its own, and she says, "Okay, so this is a scrying eye that is going to accompany you, as we cannot go in due to the nature of the magic, and also we don't want to interfere with the actual process to evaluate you. So the scrying eye will accompany you into that, and report back and make sure that all your wizardly skills are up to snuff." So she kind of motions to the door as if like to begin the exam you must go through, essentially. And the little eye's going to be floating out. What are you all kind of doing in this moment?
Earl just looks back and forth. Okay, let's go!
Perfect.
Yeah, let's him lead.
A part of Cal is looking at the jail for wild or not wizard magic, and you just hear a voice come from somewhere. That's crazy. It couldn't be us. I mean, me. And they keep walking. Bless you. I think you sneezed.
Yeah, sorry, I sneezed. Yeah, you look at you speak on it and look at it, but hoping that desperately you don't find yourself there. Is Earl kind of like leading the way towards the door?
I guess so. Box in hand, wand out, like, let's go!
Holding literally everything. Yeah, you make your way towards the door, open it up. And this is where I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna have you guys roll. Let's see which one. Let me double check. All right. So for this one, I just need 2 different rolls. So if somebody could roll me a d6 and somebody else could roll me a different d6.
I will roll one of them.
Okay.
I'll roll the second one.
It's a 4 from mine.
4.
And a 3 for mine.
And a 3. Awesome. All right. Entering into this door, you kind of see, when you open it up, it's kind of like a portal-esque accumulation of magic. You can't actually see anything before you fully step in. And as you go in, you kind of like feel the tingling sensation of you stepping into a magically generated and enhanced room. As you go on in, you are greeted to essentially a large kitchen area. Supposedly you think it's kind of like isolated to this room, but it has like the ambiance of like a large manor. The like furnishing is all like polished and very nice looking. You can also see like a large wood burning like oven / stove equipped in here, as well as like a large pantry that's like equipped with seemingly like food and various other things.
Earl just like steps through the portal thing and is just like, oh, that tickled a little bit.
Yeah, and then as you guys kind of move in there, you can see essentially like there's another door on like the opposite side of the room. It's more like, unlike the door that you went through, it's more equipped to like the surrounding. Like it looks like it's made for this area, but it's the only other like door / like exit way towards that. What do you all do?
Earl looks around for a minute and is just like, do y'all know what we're supposed to be doing in here?
Not right now, but I think for right now I'm just going to stand here and look fabulous. Gaze upon my wander.
You said we were in a kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Can can I sniff around for, let's say, food? Let's say, do I smell food?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a wild check. So you start at three stat for each. So you're trying to roll above. No wait, at or below.
At or below. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I got it mixed up in my head.
Well, that's a 4.
Okay, so you got above. So essentially, it is technically a failure, but I'm gonna have you roll again, for a different chart. So go ahead and roll another d6.
Sure. And does that change my stats?
Let's see. It may.
Okay. Well, the next roll was a 1.
Perfect. Okay. So essentially, nothing happens. You feel like your nose is like weirdly blocked up for like trying to like sniff around. You like go in for like a sniff and kind of like your whole. How do I say this? You're not exactly the most steady form either. So you're kind of like rocking around a little bit. You like really have the instinct to get down on your own, like on all fours, but it's also like which fours? Which fours are you supposed to get on? So essentially nothing happens. But you do look odd to everybody else.
But what you see is I have lifted the arm of the trench coat, and I was just kind of like, moving it around like a metal detector. But then something happens halfway through, and you just see it looks as if I'm fighting with my own arm. And then I just stop.
There's some internal struggling happening.
Have we tried the other door? Again, it's not exactly where the mouth should be, but it's close enough.
I guess I could try the other door. So Earl like walks just directly to the other door, and he's still got his box.
Before you can fully get through the room, you begin walking forward and are suddenly met with a force, an invisible force that just kind of like ricochets a little bit off your body. You're probably just walking casually, so it doesn't like bounce you off by any means. You're suddenly met with like, as you kind of like feel the sensation, it seems like it's almost like a dome-ish area, like right in the center. Encapsulating like the center of the room, but you feel you're not able to like go through it.
I try and poke it with my wand.
You poke it with your wand? Okay. Does your wand do anything specific?
Nope, it's just I'm trying to see if the wand can go through it at all.
Let's see. I believe your wand just has like a little spark effect.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that the sparks itself, it doesn't actually go through it. It kind of like bounces off, and you can see it now. Like it definitely is like a more like dome-ish shape. Kind of like skims like the top of the ceiling area. You can kind of see they just kind of like skitter across the actual like invisible area.
I think we might be trapped in here. At least I can't move forward towards the door from here. There's something hindering me. So I guess we have to figure a way to go through.
Okay, let's see here. And there's a floating eye with us, right?
Yes, yeah, you see behind you all, kind of like in the rear. It's essentially just like levitating in the spot.
Is it mainly just paying attention to us, or maybe is it like looking around at other things? Maybe we could get a hint as to what we're supposed to do in the room.
Currently, it's just looking at you all as it's kind of like looking at what you're doing. If you wanna, okay. Are you just trying to like flirt with the scrying eye?
I mean, not flirt with it per se. It's more so just I just want them to get my angles.
Okay. Oh yes, you definitely naturally you just catch the attention of it, so it like focuses more on you, Stella. And you like pose, and it kind of just like keeps looking at you. So you have its attention currently. But regardless, if you're trying to interact with it, you can kind of describe what you're trying to do with it. But if you're just checking it out, that's fine too.
Oh yeah, she's kind of like distracted herself for a bit. It's like, wait, no, we were supposed to find something. Hey, can you give us any idea as to what we're supposed to do? Is it like find a way to get out? Or is there like a puzzle in here? Please?
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll a wild.
A mouse has popped out of my pocket and is looking at Stella with the biggest, roundest eyes. Just looking.
1.
Oh, okay. Well, that's at or below, so you do have a success on that. Let me double check. I think I would have it written. Okay. So you're gonna add 1 to your wizard stat. You essentially, your wild stat, because you did wild, sorry. Add 1 to your wild stat, and you are essentially just to clarify, you're essentially like doing a pretty please kind of thing.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, cool. You hear there's like a pause, and you do hear like a small crackle of a voice, not one that you've heard before, and it seems like it's kind of like choosing its words, but it goes, I'm trying to think of what I would even say in this moment. Every room has an obstacle, and you must find a way around it, through it, or a means to get rid of it.
Got it.
As wizards do.
You are a superstar, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Ooh!
It
like kind of looks at the mouse for a little bit. It's like, oh my gosh, I love having so many fans. A little weird, but I like big fans. Anyway, we're supposed to find a way out. We're supposed to find our way out or like destroy the thing. Essentially, getting out any way we can. Did anyone do explosions?
So what happened when Earl tried to walk through the
when Earl tried to like go through it, it kind of just like essentially it's a force field. So it's not letting anything pass through it on its own. So you either have to like kind of do something or think of a way to like get out of this. Yeah, you just have to get either around it, which is hard because it's kind of encapsulating like the center of the room from where you at to the door. You got wizard spells ?
So Earl's gonna then try, like, since he's still next to this barrier or whatnot, he's gonna go ahead and put the fake wand into his box, and he's gonna like rummage through it a little bit, and he's going to pull out what looks to be a pen, and he's gonna like look between the other two behind him, and just like he's gonna try and cast Singe into said force field with this pen.
Okay. Okay, I love that. Okay, you're using
A wizard spell.
Yes. Sorry, it's technically, but you're also using something from wild, so but
Oh.
that's why I was like, you're using your collector abilities, which is your wild stuff. But yeah, go ahead and roll a wizard roll.
That's a 2.
A 2. Okay, so that's below. So you do manage to essentially like a little lighter, kind of. You just like have a little like amount of flame that goes through. It's not a huge one, but you do see kind of. It's hard to see because it's an invisible force field, obviously. But you essentially see like a small like sliver of like magic essentially getting eaten away.
I think I'm burning through it.
Can I start clawing at it?
Yeah. that'll be a wild.
Great.
Also, Lindsay, you add a 1 to your wizard since you succeeded.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks. That's a 5.
A 5. Okay. Is that sorry? I don't know what your things are now.
They're still 3 and 3.
Still 3 and 3. Okay.
Unless
So-
when I fail, does something happen to?
No, because it's just you only rolled. There's like the chart kind of essentially it's like 1 or 2. Literally nothing happens. 3 or 4, you would get points in something.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, still 3 and 3.
you
then.
did wild. So I need you to roll again a d6 to tell me the consequence.
Great. That's a 3. That's
A 3. Okay. Okay. So you go in to like start clawing at okay, sorry, I have to think about your character so hard about like what it means. Because is it just your like one paw coming out from the arm slot? Or is it like many paws?
It's kind of like hidden like this, but there's like multiple paws.
Okay, cool. No worries. Cool, I just defended. So yeah, you go to like you hold up a little like the sleeve. So you essentially put your sleeve up, and then there's just like various noises of like, and at first you kind of like it's the same thing, you know. It's like when Earl tried to like go through it, it kind of just like bounces back, but with like enough like essentially like friction and force and determination from these cats, you do see these like small tears going into the magic itself. However, some of those little claws end up getting stuck, but you feel like you cannot let go right away. Like you're a little stuck, so you're just like holding your little like sleeve up there, and you feel like distress noises coming from that direction, and it like kind of like travels to the rest of whatever. Of like you're stuck in the force field. Oh no, no. Also, you can add 1 to your wild.
Great. Does that mean that so it's wizard goes down 1 and then wild goes up 1? Is that
Nope.
how that works?
So it's
You just add 1 to your wild.
yes.
Okay.
If I remember right, it's just you're adding things, and it resets if you do other stuff, but
Gotcha.
a little different from Honey Heist.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you're kind of stuck there. So essentially, the spell worked, but with a negative side effect, aka you getting stuck in there.
It looks as if there is a downside to this. I am stuck. And at the same time, there you see one paw just push down the mouse that has been staring at Stella into the pouch. Just, this is an interesting, I don't know how any other ideas?
Do you need help getting out, or like...
I am totally fine. Let's just break this force field, please.
Distraction. Got it. I'm just gonna distract the eye as we're doing distraction mode, because I can see the distress happening. It's like, oh, don't let them see this chaos. Hey, I'm here. Look at me.
Okay.
Don't pay attention
Okay.
to the people behind the curtain.
Perfect. So essentially, we're gonna rule this as like a group distraction, which basically means if there's a fail roll, and you choose to distract, the consequences is negated, but you will add 1 to your wild roll or your wild stat. But you'll be adding that one, not Cal. Sorry, not Janice. I should character names. Stella's adding that. But yeah, so you end up. How are you distracting? You're just posing in front of it, or are you trying to like?
I think she's gonna try to do some. What's the best way to put this? Is like before she turns around, she's gonna just do like a small muttering. It's like, hey, I can really use some finer things in life right now to make sure that they don't perceive what's happening behind me. So, dazzling, and just like jazz hands at them, and like does like the little sparkler.
Okay, are you calling on your godly chosen?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. But yeah, you hear a small like a very elegant like celestial voice in response from your godly patron, Seraphina. She goes, "You got it, girl." And she just kind of like, you just have like an extra sparkle about you. And the little eye kind of like turns towards you, where it was kind of like focused on Cal. It kind of like turns more towards you. And then Cal, you're able to kind of like more easily, like it still takes a hot minute, but like you manage to get most of your claws finally out.
You just, if you listen closely, you just hear a, relax your claws, relax your claws. No, stop, relax your claws, relax your claws.
The possum who's telling everybody, like, you gotta relax.
You gotta relax. Remember those breathing techniques, everyone. In for 4, out for 5. Okay?
I love that. Yeah, so you're now unstuck. Stella is being enthralling over there. And Earl, I don't know if you're still doing stuff with the lighter pen.
At this point he's like
slow going, I will tell you that.
He's still there and like he's getting a hole in it, but like at the same time he's also very like confused as to what he's hearing. He's like, maybe I should lay off the I don't know what they've been prescribing me, honestly. Whatever. And he just like focuses more on the pen.
For sure. Are you just trying to like, essentially you're trying to like burn it, like where it's like a hole that's just gonna spread out, or are you trying to like, carve anything out? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Spell your name.
Spell your name. That's kind of what I was thinking for some reason.
Honestly, yeah.
You just draw a smiley face.
You hear that from the trench coat, and then you see me slap my arm.
Are we good back there?
That was weird. I don't know what happened. Now skip back in the pouch. Stop looking at Stella.
After a while though, like Earl will realize that this is very slow going efforts, and so he's gonna stop. When he stops, does whatever section that he's already burned through, does like it come back, or does it look like it stays burned through?
It seems like it's like staying burned. It's not expanding like like flame wood to paper, but it seems like you've basically cut like through the magic essentially, so it can't bond itself back together. Yes.
So he's gonna keep the pin. He's gonna put the pin in his hand that's holding the box, like with the arm that's holding the box. But then he's gonna continue rummaging through, and he pulls out a Barbie for a second. He's like, no, that's not gonna work. He pulls out like a paper, like a paper holder, a paper weight thing. No, that's not gonna work. And then he pulls out like his magic 8-ball. He's like, okay, and he shakes it vigorously, and he's casting hunch on it to try and get a hint of what he's doing is effective, or like if we actually need to be doing something else to try and figure this out.
Okay. You cracked me up with the using your things, but also technically doing shit. I love it. Okay, so essentially you're casting Wizard again. Go for it.
Oops, sorry if that was loud. 2.
A 2, and that would be below for you?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you shake your little, I guess you're one hand shaking it, which is wild. You're one hand shaking it. You're looking at it. It takes like a hot second.
Try again next time. No, I need it now.
I'm literally trying to think of what 8-ball things say again. It's been a hot minute since I used an 8-ball. Wait 1 sec. I will say this is probably one of your things that is like slightly magical already. So I guess it doesn't have to be true to life. I'm just gonna make up something to make it a more better hint than just most likely. But you essentially get like a little. Actually, yeah, I'll say that since this is one of your items that actually has some like innate little like wizardly magic in it, like remnants. Maybe it was somebody at the office who had like a wizard kid that they took the 8-ball from. It's actually got like the little dice inside has more sides, so it's like more complex than an actual one. And you have to like kind of like peer at it because it's like really small text. But it says like, this would work, but maybe keep trying other things.
That's weird how they had the shrugging emoji in the...
Yeah, literally.
That's so strange. You just see a hand hovering over your shoulder. That's so weird how they have... I mean...
Yeah, like peeking up. Oh my god.
I have an idea, I think.
Okay. Cal, they said your name was, right?
Yes, my name is Cal. That is what I am named.
Okay.
Are you trying to use the royal we, or are you actually thinking, like...
And then Earl is like, it might be multiple personalities?
Whichever way you want to say it, Cal. What's
I
your
don't
plan?
know what you mean by royal. I am not royal. There's no royal in my bloodline, my bloodline. Anyway, I'm about to do something so crazy, but only those who have my type of magical ineptitude-ness will have this. You just start seeing cats flying out of my sleeve through the hole that Earl made, just flying through it into on the other side, and then if this...
Okay. Go ahead and roll a wild.
I would love to do that. That's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay, so it's below. If either stat gets to 6 or above, please let me know, because there are things for that. I just don't know how many you have.
It's at 4 now.
So that's below. So you do manage. I will say it's like Earl didn't do like a very big hole. But cats are liquid. I am Cal. You do know like this is like a wizard thing. So do you like say anything as you do this, or are you just like?
You need me to distract again, because I'll distract.
It's a lot. It's a lot of like what Elvish kind of would sound like, but it's just like a lot of voices at once of like a but then we're just like flying through the sleeve, and then it ends with the possum with the trench coat like in its mouth flying through the hole.
Oh, you're all going
we're all going
leaving
in.
the body. Oh shit. Okay.
That's terrifying, honestly.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Don't mind what your
body just like melting.
All you see, Earl is like, he's still got the 8-ball, and he's like midway through placing it back into the box. He's like, I'm glad I took my allergy pills today.
You allergic to cats? Oh my god.
It's weird. I'm allergic to only opossums, and for some reason I'm sniffly.
I think Stella's just looking at this, and she's like, hey, are you seeing this shit? Like, kind of talking in the back of her head to her patron, being like, do you see this weird shit that I'm with right now?
The last thing you see is a mouse that scurries along the trench coat until it reaches the end, and then it winks at Stella, and then it goes through the hole.
Okay. Actually, because like the mouse is not wanting to be there, so I think it's actually still in the pouch, so it still winks.
It's
being dragged with the trench coat part, like at the end, in one of the pouches. For Stella, your patron, Seraphina, kind of like it's just like, what is happening? She's just like, I'm
Girl, I don't know either.
I will say this is the most entertaining. I got popcorn here. This is the most entertaining thing I've ever watched.
I feel like I should adopt that mouse as we survive this. I feel like he may need help. I can't tell.
I mean, yeah. Also, maybe you could like curl its little like fur and whatnot. Make it like pretty mouse.
Fancy rat. Fancy mouse. Fancy rat.
A mouse makeover.
Yeah. But yeah, you do succeed. So you do manage to also add 1 to your wild. Yes. You do succeed. So you do manage to like squeeze through because cats are liquid again. The possum does have more of a problem because it's not
butt gets stuck a little bit.
Yeah, and you're also dragging the trench coat with you. But everybody else just sees essentially this person become a bunch of cats and a possum. Now you essentially get through it, so you're in like the middle area. Are you trying to like become a person again in this moment, or are you staying as just...
I'm trying to come back into it.
Okay, cool, yeah. You have to like build yourself back up again. No, I'm not gonna re-roll again. It's fine. I just think it's a little suspicious, but I think it's fine.
I turn around on the other side of the little force field thing. Again with my wizard hat worn like a cowboy hat, so it's like in front of your face a little bit. And I go, that's normal for me, but don't worry, I am just a guy.
That's so convincing.
It's just something I could do with my wizard powers.
You do hear, whoever's near the scrying eye, you do hear like the little robotic voice, kind of like quietly, as if like kind of muttering to itself, just goes, a remarkable display of transfiguration of the whole body of many orbs. As if like, yeah, you got away with saying that was definitely wizard magic.
Totally
You're now on the opposite side of where everybody else is. What's everybody kind of doing now?
I think Stella's gonna try and harm the hole that has been created so far. Like, just use the sheer force of, I guess, her magnificent form and just, like, slam into it to harm it.
Wait, are you trying to use the wizard spell, or are you literally body slamming? Those are two different things.
The wizard spell harm, but I don't know how to really word that.
Okay, I mean, in the thing, it just says you hurl a tiny ball of magical force.
Okay, yeah.
Like throwing a poppet firework. So you're essentially just like throwing a little thing. I mean, you still got like the pizzazz down, but you don't need a body slam. That's wild. Yeah, go ahead and roll a wizard really quick.
4.
4. Okay, is that at or below for you?
It is above.
Above. Okay. So go ahead and roll another d6.
Another 4.
Another 4. Okay, cool. Okay, you unintentionally use wild magic and cast a wild spell of your choice. Proceed if this was a success, but add 1 to your wild stat. So you feel free to rule it how you like, but essentially, I think like your patron who's been like watching this, like saw that you were trying to do something magical, and was just like, let's throw some like pizzazz on that, like some extra pizzazz. And it's gonna like influence the roll, but you can describe how it appears.
It becomes kind of like a slightly bigger, and in my brain I can only think of like a Kamehameha beam of light just being hurled at it.
Okay. Yeah, you punch a significant amount of the force field's like magic out of commission. Where you probably could like pass through relatively.
I'm also now at 6.
You're at 6? Okay. Alrighty. Which one is at 6? Wild?
Wild, yeah.
Alright, so you, Alright, you see the scrying eye, who has been paying attention to you for most of this because of your influence, has now, like, you see the like, little eye part, it's basically like a little diamond-esque, like, symbol, it's not like a full eyeball, it's kind of just like a screen, and a little eye diamond. Where did the diagram come from? Diamond shape that has been like green for this whole thing. You do see that it's like slowly turning more into a like reddish hue. As you raise suspicion. You cannot cast any wizard spells until you've succeeded on or wild spells until you've succeeded on a wizard roll. In which case your wild will be reset. I mean, you could still do wizard thing or wild things, but it's essentially gonna get you caught more easily. Okay. Do you have suspicion, so now the scrying eye is focused only on you. But yeah.
My hubris. She'll walk through with like her head in shape.
You look great doing it though.
She'll walk her head slightly like bowed head, but she'll be fine. She'll believe that she's gonna be fine.
Yeah. All right. Earl, what you doing? There is a significant hole now that you could also just go through if you want.
Yeah, Earl kind of just like looks around, looks towards the floating eye, and well, I guess that's a way to do it. Okay, and he just walks through.
Okay. Yeah. The Scry Knight kind of follows you guys after, but you've cleared the like force field portion of this and can make your way to the next door. Do you all go, or are you all doing anything before you leave? All right. You make your way towards the other door, going through it, and we are going to do some more rolls again. So, let's see, I believe I need 3 rolls this time. Everybody can do one. Yeah, everybody can go ahead and roll a d6. Let me know what you got.
I got a 1.
1, okay.
I got a 6.
6, okay.
I got a 4.
4, okay. So, first things first, you enter, again, it's like a very portal-esque space, but going through it, you... Okay, so you walk into a very, like, typical fantasy dungeon. It's like stoneware, stone, what is it, cobblestone or whatever? Dungeon. It's kind of dark. There's a couple little torches around. It's damp. It's kind of musky. It's not great environment. Kind of hear some like little drips of water coming down from one portion of the ceiling, like in the corner. You do see some like crates that are stacked up in a different corner, as well as a like skeleton just like propped up on the wall. Okay, and then we got. Okay, Lindsay, actually, if you want to roll again.
That's a 6 again?
Oh, good lord, okay.
Do you want me to roll again?
You're good. You're good. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, you don't hear. Oh, wait. I have to just double check. And then there was a 4, right? Okay.
From
so
me.
here's the. I'll start with the 4 because it's more. It's gonna be more apparent. You see that also in the dungeon. Basically a bunch of like mushrooms sprout out from like in patches in kind of like the darker, like deeper areas of it. And they like actually like quickly grow to like cover most of the like floor, essentially. And then sorry, this one's really cracking me up with the 1 second roll. You see essentially a like from again who knows where, there's like maybe a hole in like some of the like walls or something, just a stream of like very feral and rabid raccoons enter the area. So yeah, and they seem not friendly. Very unwell. What are you guys all doing in this moment as you are faced with kind of like there's like bioluminescent mushrooms, there's very like greenish ones, it's like kind of like a bunch of different ones, as well as some very angry looking.
The noises coming out of Cal is crazy. What you think are shoulders look like a cat hunching their back. And you just hear this feral coming out of Cal.
God.
and then a voice that goes, calm down. We should get rid of those raccoons.
Yeah, that's fair.
Earl starts digging around in his box again. And he pulls out a sock and he's like, no. And he keeps rummaging through. And he pulls out like a hair tie, no. And then he pulls out like a whistle thing. And what he's attempting to do with said whistle is to like blow it, but like this is one of his magical items that, like, hopefully will help tame the feral animals.
Kind of like a dog whistle-esque
Yes.
thing. Okay. Go ahead and roll. This is wild, I believe, if you're just using.
That's a 1.
A 1! Awesome! Okay, you're gonna add a wild stat number, and then this does succeed. So, you describe exactly what it's doing, essentially.
And this looks like a regular whistle. Like, it doesn't look like one of those actual, like, animal whistles. It looks like just a regular whistle.
No, it looks like a gym,
Yep,
gym
exactly.
whistle.
And so, like, so to Ava, it sounds like a regular whistle. To Cal, it might sound differently. However, Earl doesn't 100% know that. But, like...
We'll get to it in a sec.
But it essentially, like, it like, all of a sudden, like, the feral animals just, like, kind of sit up and, like, turn around. And he, like, while he's whistling, he kind of starts, like, doing random movements with his head and stuff to try and, like, coerce them into a corner to where they're not going to, like, do anything bad.
Okay, you're like...
Pied Pipering them.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I want to know. Are you, like, trying to communicate it where they don't have to follow you? Or are they doing, like, you know, like, Legend of Zelda with the chickens that, like, can follow you? Like, are you leading them? Or are you being, like, go over there kind of thing? It's up to you.
I'm leading them.
Okay. As you begin to move about through, the mushrooms that are on the floor begin to swell and essentially burst up pockets of spores. And I need you to roll another d6 for me. I'll have the raccoons roll a different one.
It's a
Also,
3?
Cal's totally following as well, just like...
I was gonna say, that's up to you how you wanna
Oh, no.
so you're following us well?
Yeah, Cal immediately sits, like, on the ground waiting, and then as soon as the melody starts, just kind of, like, is following with you. But, like, very jagged moves.
Okay, so it was a 3, and then Cal also needs to roll that.
Oh, yes, what am I rolling?
I just did d6.
That's a 6.
6? Okay. I'm gonna start with Cal, because it's actually pretty similar to what you kind of described. You feel an innate sense to dance. You must dance. You must perform. You feel it in your body, in your soul, in your head as, like, a plume of just, like, blue spores kick up into the full, like, your face, but also, like, the full, like, trench coat with all of its, like, you know, it gets through the seams, like, the little, like, pockets and whatnot. So yeah, first there's that. Secondly, Earl, you're, like, starting to go along like essentially a bunch of, like, purple-esque spores, like, very, like, glittery, pop up into your face, and you feel deep sorrow. You feel so sad. You don't know why, but you feel so very sad. As you do that, many raccoons that are following you stomp, like, they're not being cautious, they're stomping through the spores, and they're low to the ground. They get a, like, nauseous green mushroom that pops up, all of them, many of them, and they begin to just start throwing up, just all of them. So, how does it affect everybody? Cal's gotta dance, Earl's gotta be sad, and the raccoons are stopped in their tracks because they feel so ill right now.
Oh god. So Earl basically is just like, he's still blowing this whistle, but he's doing it, like, all of a sudden he starts get yourself together, bro. and he's just like crying through it, but like
Yeah,
still
it's like
moving forward.
You blow it, but it like kind of like peters out towards the end as like the like the air in your lungs starts giving way to like sobs that are just like wrenching your body. So you're still trying to like go along, but you're like kind of like so sorrowfully.
Like, I'm sorry that the raccoons are throwing up.
I think you don't see Stella like reacting at all because I think like a weird quirk of being a chosen of a patron of the finer things in life. Whenever I see like any form of like things that look gross, it ends up looking to her like just pools of glitter. So she's just like, "Oh, this is fantastic! This is cute! I love it."
You have innate censorship. I love that. That's
people
hilarious.
cry glitter, people throw up glitter. It's just glitter. It's like, oh,
okay.
that's so cute.
Okay. Yep. And Cal's dancing.
Hal, are
Cal's
you
dancing
okay?
Although there's a the opossum, a part that is Cal, is trying not to get distracted by the throw up. He just kind of like looks at it a little too longingly.
Oh no. Oh no.
Hal, are you okay? You seem to be distracted. You're distracted. Are we doing this now?
What? No,
What
I'm
are we-
here. What are you doing? What are we doing? What am I doing?
I don't know. I just hear whistles and then you started dancing.
Yes. Don't you not feel it? You need to dance.
Not really, but I'll dance with you.
Okay.
Yay!
The question is, Stella, are you going into like the I had placed you kind of like more towards the entrance where there was as many mushrooms. Are you starting to like go and follow with them?
Absolutely not. She's just watching this happen.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I was gonna say you will have to roll then. So you're dancing from afar. You're just like, yeah.
Is this? Are we
I got
supposed to
you
be
from
doing
over
this,
here.
or are we supposed to move, or what are we doing?
I think the magic is telling me to dance, and as definitely a wizard, I think we need to follow what the magic tells us. Right? I know where I'm right? Hey, are you crying? I look at Earl.
Are you
Don't mind me.
I think you need to try dancing. I think this is the answer to our test.
I don't think you're supposed to be crying glitter, Earl. Like, what's going on? Why are you crying?
Crying glitter too?
Yes, any type of like just
Insane.
body orifice thing. It just looks like glitter.
Insane. That's hilarious.
So at this point, Cal's dancing, Ava's still at the entrance, and all of the raccoons and all the
You mean
feral animals. Sorry,
Stella's
Stella.
at
Yep.
You're gonna confuse me. That's
I'm
It's
that's
okay.
fine.
I do also realize that I did make Stella kind of myself, so yeah.
um,
That's it.
and then all of the feral animals are currently like stopped dead in their tracks, just puking.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they're overcome with illness. So it's kind of like a
Okay.
they just have to stop for a minute. So it kind of
Okay.
like overrules your
In
whistle a
that case, Earl's gonna like put the whistle away, and then he's gonna take out the magic 8-ball again, and he's gonna shake it vigorously and like try and do the hunch thing again.
hunch
to
thing again.
figure
Okay.
out
Yeah.
what in the world we need to do.
Okay. What did you do? Wizard roll.
That's a 1.
A 1. Awesome. Yeah, you shake it on up, and you get a response that's just like. It's alright. Did I just realize that I forgot to mention there's a door in here? Yeah.
I was wondering about that.
And now I'm like, shit, I should actually have a goal then, because I forgot to say that there's. I will say from now on, every room does have a door that you just have to essentially, like, to move on. And you have to, like, go through the challenges or whatever. But for this room, it's essentially just like, yeah, get over the obstacles, so get over the mushrooms, tame the raccoons or whatever. and eventually get to the door. So I'll say that like you guys aren't near it, but you do see that there's like a portion of the dungeon that essentially just like it's like a little downward ramp. So I can say that you didn't see it at first. A downward ramp, and then just a very classic like dungeony door.
Perfect. Then he's gonna go ahead and also my wizard is now at 6.
At 6, alrighty. Yeah,
That's where we're at.
Okay. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Actually, put it on the same page. You feel, as you're kind of doing stuff, Earl, you feel like, I don't know how this would work. Your lost and found box is like vibrating somehow. It's your pent up wild magic threatens to explode. So you literally like feel like your little box. It's not sentient, but somehow it's just shaking with the innate like opportunity that you have within your like collection of stuff. You can't do any wizard spells until you succeeded on a wild roll, at which point your wizard stat will be reset to 2.
Perfect.
If you go over it, you will be caught as it's gonna explode, and who knows what's gonna happen with all those magic items.
Perfect. So at that point then, Earl's gonna put all of his stuff in his box and just like start just walking straight forward towards the door.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll one more d6.
Oh god.
Some more mushrooms come on up.
That's a 1?
A 1. Okay. Earl, your sadness changes. Your tears dry up. In its place, you feel so much rage. You feel so mad. You're like, there's tension in your like muscles. You're like holding yourself. It's actually very similar because your wild magic is so friggin' pent up. You feel like uncomfortable, pins and needles, that kind of stuff. As you, basically you're very angry right now as like this like red spores kind of like kick up as you like make your way determinedly towards the door. What is Earl kind of doing in regards to that?
So Earl he's like and then all of a sudden he's walking forward and he just stops sobbing and he looks around a little bit. He's like, this makes me angry. This makes me so angry. And he pulls out he's like he rummages through his box again and he pulls out basically what are like poppets. And he like just starts slamming them into these mushrooms essentially as he like walks through them.
Okay. Poppets, you gotta remind me. What's poppet?
Like the fireworks, but they're not fireworks. They like when you
cherry
Okay,
bomb.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, and then I was like, but there's also those little like fidgety poppet things. And then my brain was like, I don't remember which one's which. Yeah, you start like throwing down. I'll have you roll a wild to see what happens in this regard. Just so
That's a 1. This is the most ones I've rolled.
All right,
Holy
you
cow.
succeed. Your high stat is gonna go down to a 2. You do get to add 1 to your wild. As you just start like, this is so like hilarious to me. You're so fucking angry, and you just start like throwing.
Why am I going through this? Oh, I pushed enough papers around that I don't need to deal with this anymore.
You see different parts of Cal jump every time one of the poppets hit the ground. Just like a lot of like, I'm trying to play it off as I'm breakdancing, but I am just getting like just jolted around of being scared of the popping sound.
Oh, poor dear.
Poor Cal. Oh my god, you start laying into it. There's like enough like damage to essentially like, how do I say this? Like the spores are like popping up as you go through, but since you're throwing stuff down that's kind of got like a spark to it, you're essentially like, this isn't physics. Don't quote me on this. This is not how science works. But like, you know, like the more bark like related stuff with the poppets kind of like burns up the actual spores that are heading towards your face. So you're able to kind of like get through to the door if you want.
Me?
Yes.
Yes,
Sorry.
sorry.
Good.
Yes.
Girl,
I'm
you can go
straight
to
up.
the door.
I'm straight up walking, and I'm like, at this point, I'm just like, ugh, I just want to get out of this room.
And as you get like towards like the downward ramp part too, it's like there's no mushrooms in this area. So if you like, as you're kind of like walking down it, you like feel your sinus is clear. As that rage kind of leaks away, even though it was very beneficial to you.
So it's like
in that moment.
So it's one of those where it's like he's like stomping around, but then all of a sudden like immediate switch up, like, well, that was weird. Whatever. And he just starts like he goes to the door immediately.
All right, Earl makes it to the door. What's everybody else doing?
So the path that Earl created by stomping and throwing little cherry bombs down, did that clear a path to walk through, or is there still risk of these fungi?
I think originally I was imagining there wasn't a clear path, but I'll say that he made a path from where he was at, which is like halfway through the room.
Okay.
So he didn't make a clear path from like the previous door to where he was at, but he made one that's like towards like the other door, far door. That like you could probably kind of like sneak in there.
Okay. And then secondary question, did Stella at least, is there like an understanding that inhaling the dust, is that the thing that's causing everyone issues, or is it like as long as it gets on your person?
Yeah. I'll say
if you want to do a hunch roll, I can do that too.
I was gonna say maybe you want to do a hunch roll.
Yeah,
but
I'll do a hunch.
Okay, I was gonna say if you don't want to, that's okay. I would say you do the answer. So you do it wizard. 2, perfect. Yeah, so you succeed. Go ahead and add 1 to wizard. Reset your wild stat because I think that was the one that you had. That was high. And that's reset it to 2. Yeah, you kind of like you were standing back. You were observing everything. What actually I'll say this. You recall something on the written portion of the exam that's off screen happened. That there's a quality of some magical mushrooms that when inhaled, the spores when inhaled, create weird and unusual effects, sometimes emotional, sometimes physical, whatnot. And you can identify that these mushrooms in particular are like more emotional spores that they emit. And yeah, it's everyone who's like getting it kind of like puffs up into their face and is essentially getting absorbed through that.
Okay. I think she's gonna just try her best to kind of like just step around until she gets to the path that Earl created and just continue walking forward. If she could pick up Cal along the way. Yeah. Okay. Because he's still just dancing. They're just still dancing. I
was gonna say, unless like, is Cal dancing like further in, or are you just dancing in place?
See, I was gonna ask something super gross, and I was gonna ask to cast, because slime is one of the wizards. I was gonna say, can all of this dancing, you just have the rest of my cats throw up on the mushrooms as I cast slime, I guess, but it's just like hairballs and such, and it's just blocking the spores. But hey, do whatever you want.
You want to throw up on the mushrooms like as you go. You want to throw up multiple. I guess you're multiple cats.
I was gonna say it's multiple cats, so
yeah,
just a lot of hairballs and such.
Okay. Sorry, I have to think about this because this is a wild visual in my head.
You cannot allow that. That's totally fine.
No, it's okay. I just have to actually like visualize it, which is disturbing to me.
Just because the raccoons already did it.
Yeah,
I will say this is not going to be full glitter, but it looks like it's coated in like a shimmer. Because it's mainly just when liquid happens that everything looks like glitter, but because it's a hairball. Yeah, it's like a bath bomb now. It's like, huh. Weird. Okay.
I love that. Yeah, you can do so you're gonna have to roll a wizard, obviously, for the slime. / hairball.
Dang it. 5. My wizard's at 3.
5, okay. I do think it's a hilarious idea, even though you gave me bad visuals. So go ahead and roll it again. You're gonna take the better one of that.
Okay.
I'm doing the GM bonus for this.
That's a 2. That's a
2. Okay. So it succeeds. You're gonna add another to your wizard. I hate that I have to describe this right now. Because here's the thing.
It's
Your
coming
cats
out
are
of the
in the trench coat.
sleeves.
Oh, after the sleeve, I was gonna say from the beat, but yeah, sure, we could do
From the sleeve
action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, it's essentially looks like you're like punching down, but there's just like globs of hairballs kind of like hitting points, and it eventually connects to like the path that Earl started it at. I will say for Stella, you have a bigger gap, but there still is like a certain portion that they moved through that is still like just pure mushrooms. I know you said you kind of wanted to weave around that. I will think that you'll have to make some kind of roll.
Okay.
Whether you want to use something magical or wizardly, just to get like through that small portion.
Can
how
I
you
do?
manage
Can I
to
do shield on like and maybe make a shield like around her face area to like block the fumes?
Yeah, that sounds cool as heck. You make a
Cool.
freaking, like, it's like a face shield. It literally is like
Yeah.
a face shield. So yeah, go ahead and roll some wizard.
Right, that's a 3, and that's below what I have. So
Below, perfect. All right. It succeeds. Go ahead and add another one to your wizard as you kind of like conjure a very. Why did I immediately think of this freaking like the Lana Del Rey thing where she had a mask
yeah.
and it's just jewels?
yeah.
It's similar
that's
to that, but there's like an added bonus of it does actually have like a shield, magical shield underneath. That's an improper mask that Lana Del Rey had, but you have a good one. And you managed to like step through, step around the raccoons that are still vomiting.
so sad.
And then step. I guess you have to step kind of on Cal's gross stuff, but
Yeah.
it looks like bath bombs to you, so you're like, yeah, looks cool. And then you eventually make it to the path that Earl opened up as well. So, you all eventually make it towards the door. Cal, the effect of dancing kind of trickles off of you, unless you want to keep dancing. That's up to you.
There's just one cat that's still dancing.
You just have a little boogie in your butt area still.
Yeah. Just a little bit of a little bit.
A little bit of boogie. But
Yeah.
the full effect's kind of like untangle from you, and you feel clearer head, all of your cat bodies as well. And I'm trying to... I want to roll something. I know it doesn't technically work that way. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say your mouse is still boogie too, because I never rolled for it, but he's fine. He's just chilling in there. Cool. You guys make it to the door, and I assume go on through. Same thing. If everybody wants to roll a d6, and then I have to add that.
I got another 6.
Okay, another 6. Go ahead and roll again.
I got a 2 that time.
6 2. Okay.
I got another 1.
Another 1. Okay.
1.
1. Okay. Oh wait, and then I had to roll. Duh. Okay, we are on our third chamber. Oh wait, you rolled a 6, right, Lindsay? Actually, just needed a 6 for that one. Okay. So you all enter into another magically manufactured room. Entering into a room that is set up like a life-size chessboard. So very much like, the Harry Potter version of this, essentially. Where there's like these huge pieces of chess pieces, the freaking I know chess. It's a horse and a queen, I believe. Krick, I know chess so well. Checkers is easy. It's just red and black.
Yeah,
I
you're
think you mean a
correct.
knight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is a knight.
Horse. It looks like a horse. There's no knight on a horse. It's just a horse.
Yeah.
I mean, you are correct. You should take that up with the originators of the design, but
No. Everything you said is correct.
Somebody look up who invented chess, and I'm coming for them.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
fight them for you. Me and my 9 cats.
Fight
So, yeah, you
their
see-
descendants.
You see several of the big chess pieces. The floors itself is all like black and white. That's what a chessboard is. Black and white tiles. And you see on the far side there's a door. There's
Calico.
a door this time. Cool. I totally do that. Okay, so that was the first one. Oh, okay. You don't notice anything on that second one yet.
Oh.
And then one. Okay, the room is also overgrown with vines, so you see kind of like intermittently, it's kind of like some of it's pushing through actually the tiles itself, while others are just kind of like around the like sides. There's like pillars, I'd say, on the sides. It's kind of like weaving around it, but it is also like going through the actual chest field. What the fuck's it called?
A chessboard?
Yeah, but like the field of it.
But it's like a field because we're like on it. Like we're
Yeah.
walking on it.
It's like a battlefield.
I hear what you're saying. Cal goes up
really
to the knight.
as a person who doesn't play other games.
Cal goes up to the knight. When I make my move, then you're free. I'm kidding.
Okay. Oh, okay. And then the other one, you don't totally feel anything yet either. Oh, and of course your scrying eyes follow you guys after. At this point, because the two who had, or because Stella who had the suspicion no longer has it, it did turn back to green and has just been kind of following you all. Cool. So yeah, you got the chessboard. There's vines, and two other things that you don't know yet. What are you guys doing?
Did Cal actually go up to the chess pieces or no?
No, but I think I am going to walk up to one of the chess pieces. You said is it like a regular game of chess that hasn't been started yet, or has it been like?
It has not been started yet. Correct.
Great. Then I think what Cal's gonna do is you watch as Cal picks the mouse out of his pouch and puts it onto the board where the first pawn would have been moved. So moving whatever side we're on, whether it's black or white,
Yeah.
just moving.
Listen,
moving
I'm
the
not gonna
pawn.
get rules. I already outed myself as somebody who barely knows enough about chess.
I
so you can
also
just
don't
do
know
wherever you
anything
want to put
about
it.
chess, so I'm going to make the first move of whatever this chess game is.
Yeah. Okay.
With the mouse though, the mouse is the one who's moving for me.
Cool. I want you to roll something. You're using your prop technically, which is your little familiar, which usually means that you get a +1 to wizard. So if you just want to roll a wizard for this.
Sure. Also, just for flavor context, the mouse is wearing a collar that has catnip in it, so I can always smell where he is.
That's fucked up.
That's really fucked up. That's a 4. You said for wizard?
Yes.
Okay, that meets it because I'm at 4.
I'm still just so shocked by that. I feel like I have to adopt this mouse now.
So sorry. 4 is above, below, at.
It meets it. It meets it.
Meets it. So it succeeds.
It winks at Stella before it goes. It just winks.
What the fuck? Why are you making this mouse so flirty?
It really likes Stella. Are you kidding? Have you seen Stella? Have you seen Stella?
Yeah, but it's a mouse.
Yeah, and a mouse has taste.
This is like the B movie, but Ratatouille. I don't know what to do about it.
It's a little bit like that.
Okay.
It's a little...
So you succeed. You get to add 1 to your wizard.
Great, I'm at 5 for both.
Nice. Or maybe not nice. I don't know. You're gonna get in trouble probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, you move your little mouse to the first move. I decide how fucked up I want this to be though. You did succeed, so I will say that you like set your mouse down, and you realize that as you're going to like set it down on like the little like square, the mouse itself is fine. you do realize that like this tile like moves, and because the mouse is not heavy enough, it didn't activate anything. But you do realize that there is something there.
Okay. Can I try to move the pawn to where I tried to put the mouse?
Yes. Are you just trying to push it, or are you trying to do anything specific?
I think I'm gonna
try to do something wizardly, or are you trying to just manhandle it?
I think I'm just gonna try to manhandle it. I think I'm just gonna try to. Oh, the mouse couldn't do it, so I'm just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna push the pawn.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a wild, since it's non-wizardly.
That's a 5, and that meets my wild, which is also 5.
Okay, so you do manage to. It's weird how your body moves while trying to push something, because it's a collective of weights. But you do manage to, so it's like slowly moving it over to it. I assume you take your mouse back or something.
Yes, you do see a single cat fly out of the sleeve, grab the mouse, and then jump back into the sleeve.
Just like what's that one little
like Thor's hammer?
It's like it's like a little squishy guy, and he's like held by the fist.
Yes, yeah.
Or Thor's hammer is okay too.
Oh, go ahead.
You grab your little mouse, you push the pawn into place, and you do see that it like clicks onto the tile. It like has the weight of it. You do see that makes it so that a line of fire it's a pressure plate, so essentially a line of fire shoots up from where like the pawn kind of like didn't go past it, so essentially like right before the pawn kind of like shoots up like a line of it.
Okay.
So yeah, there's that.
For all the chess nerds, I moved my pawn to e4, which apparently is the best opening.
I'm gonna get so mad that you're saying actual chess. For all the chess nerds out there, you're a nerd.
On to e4, baby. I don't know what happens after that.
At the same moment as you're kind of like going through this, you all like, I assume that everybody else is kind of like looking around, like Earl and Stella are just kind of looking around. You do kind of like look around the room, and then you look back towards your little scrying eye, which somehow is like floating higher. It's like just a little bit higher.
Earl is going to take this moment to jump on one of the knights, which is the horse piece.
Okay.
And he's gonna be like, I've seen Perry Plupper enough to know what this does. Go, horse, go!
Okay. I'm trying to decide what that means.
Does it move at all? Like when he gets onto it?
Did the other side go first?
So here's the thing. The pieces don't actually move by themselves. So nothing has happened besides the one pawn moving.
Cool. Yeah.
Unless there's like something you want to like say you're trying to influence that somehow, but they themselves are not. They're just pieces.
Cool.
Not exactly like sentient in nature.
Cool. So yeah, at this point, like Earl's just on top of one of the horses, just like.
Okay.
But nothing's happening.
Yeah. As you sit there, you realize that you are like slightly kind of like these are like I think I said like life size. So like you would probably be able to sit on this as like a normal person, like kind of like a horse. You know, it's a saddle. You're like, it's bigger than you for some reason. Like you're sitting in it and you're like, wow, this is like I'm kind of small in this.
Like a Clydesdale size.
Okay. He doesn't really.
And then you do realize that like I'll say this because I'm trying to add on all the things. As you're kind of sitting there, you realize that there's like a portion of the horse, like the little mane. It's got like a little indent, like it was carved out. Like it's not unanimous with the actual sculpture of the rest of the mane. If that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, after a while, if nothing happens, Earl will go ahead and like hop down.
You hop down, and as you do, it's the drop down is more than you expect.
I am going to cast slow-ish fall on myself.
Yeah,
then.
Go ahead and roll a wizard.
That's a 4 to my 2, so that does not work.
So it's okay. Okay, go ahead and roll another d6.
That's another 4.
Another 4. Okay. And we did wizard, right? You unintentionally use wild magic and cast a wild spell of your own. See, this was a success, but you add 1 to wild. So I don't know. Maybe you've got shoes on that have.
Wild's at 6 now.
All right, same thing as before. You can't cast any wild things until you cast something else, or you risk. Actually, yeah, you have suspicion on you now. So like the little eye, which you see is actually now floating higher again.
How did it? Is this high? Did
It's
the
higher.
ceiling get higher?
Yeah, you look up and you're like, that seems taller now.
Is the answer up?
Is it up, dog?
Cal, as you're standing there, because you like were pushing the pawn, you realize where you had pushed it before. Your hands are like now lower.
Did I slip? I mean, nope. Still in the same. I'm still the head as always. Why would I be anything else? Interesting. Stella, do you see anything different about us? Are we getting tinier?
Can I do another hunch to get a vibe as to what's happening?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll that wizard.
Five exactly. So I made it.
Made it? Okay. So it's a siege, you add that wizard. You realize that you are shrinking. You all are shrinking.
Oh boy. We're shrinking.
Oh, really?
Okay. We're shrinking.
Maybe this will help. And Earl just like from one of his pockets like just throws glitter in the air to see if that'll do anything. It doesn't do anything but covers himself in glitter, but that's one of his props, so
Yeah,
Iconic.
you can add. I'll rule it as like you rolled a wizard, so you can go ahead and reset your wild. You are now covered in glitter. Which for Stella wouldn't know this, but it's like it could be glitter. Could be other stuff that you think is glitter.
Iconic.
Iconic. So yeah, you can go ahead
well,
and
that
reset
did
your
nothing
stuff.
for me.
Cal goes, very nice. That was a very good idea. We should all do the same thing. I throw catnip in the air.
Okay. It's technically one of your props, so you. I don't know if you need to reset your wizard at all.
I'm at 5 for both. So you tell me what it needs to do.
So actually, sorry, I realized that for Lindsay, yours fine, but I realized that the prop use, it's either you can add 1 to your wizard or you can remove 1 from your wild. So however you want to do that. I didn't read my full little edited notes. But I'll say for Lindsay, I'll just rule it as that you rolled something wizardly and can reset yourself. So you and I do want you to roll a wild really quick, Janice, just to see
Me?
if this
Okay.
is gonna affect you as cats.
I would love to do that. Wonderful. That's a 3. So I was under, yeah.
Under? Okay, so you succeed. And you can add one to a wild, or you can just, because you use your prop, you don't have to. but you resist the temptation to fully scatter and begin to like roll around on the floor with all your catnip that you just threw. As you both like throw out like glitter and catnip, you do realize that it like catches on certain points of the room. You see there's like tripwires.
Oh. Okay. You do hear whispers of like, don't catch it, don't go. Stay here. Just like a lot of like, stay. But okay, so if there's tripwires around the room, Cal says, I can send my mouse ahead if we want to find where those wires are.
Sure. So I'm still just like, I think because Stella has been mainly just doing like the hang back and observing and just watching all this happen. So I was like, I think I'm good here until this is situated. I think as an observer and see if anything else happens.
For sure.
We can't have perfection be diminished by shrinking.
I feel that. Yeah, you do notice that like the eye is now higher and it's like looking down a little bit at you as you kind of like got it smaller than where it was at. Cool. So Cal, you're sending out your mouse.
Yeah.
I will say there's still the like line of fire that you activated.
Oh, okay. Can I throw him over?
Yeah.
Not in like a abusive way, but like in a like, hey, you go.
Are you sure? Are you sure
Yeah.
it's not?
No, I mean it that
Are
way.
you sure it's not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, the cats can think what they want, but the opossum's in the driver's seat. So
For sure.
Can I cast a shield on this mouse? Just as a precaution. He's a fan.
Yeah. Okay, so first let's I guess Cal's doing another like a wild again.
yeah. So another wild.
Yes.
And before I could either keep the wild or go down one.
So for using your prop use, you can either add one to your wizard or remove. Maybe it's just like remove. You can either remove from your wizard or remove from your wild. I don't know why I wrote it down that way. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, I'm at 5 for both, so I think I'm going to keep it that way for now. But and you said
Living
I'm
on
rolling.
the edge.
I'm living on the edge, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing about Cal is strategic, so and I'm rolling wild. You said right now.
Yes, you're gonna roll wild for this.
Okay, that's hilarious. That's a 6.
A 6. Okay, so
That's over.
okay, go ahead and roll another for the chart.
Great. And that's a 1. 6 and
A
1s
1.
are the only things I'm rolling today.
Okay. I love that. Yeah, you go to like throw this. You think it's lightly the way you're throwing it. But you are technically just chucking a mouse. And then if Stella wants to roll that for shield, it's wizard, I believe.
Yeah. Or
You
I
just-
could,
It's up to you. You do what you.
because there's also frost snip. No, let's do
I
shield.
will say that the mouse is currently in the air.
Okay,
so-
yeah, let's do shield.
You just hear from Cal, just one of you for the mouse, just one of you for the mouse.
Yeah, like
and
too many arms got in there.
I got it too, so I'm good.
At 2, so you succeed. Okay, cool. Go ahead and add 1 to your wizard.
Oh wait, hold on. I already maxed my wizard, so could I just like retool it to be a floating orb of light, kind of just helping it along, type like protecting it, type of thing.
I'll
that
allow
way
it
real
because
wild.
I'm really worried about this mouse. I'm worried about it. Yeah, you so for cows, the spell technically didn't work, but there was no effect from the consequences technically. But yeah, so for Stella's 2 is still under your or whatever under your thing, so it does succeed. Add 1 to your wild. You see the mouse kind of like soaring through the sky over. It does clear the fire, just barely. It's got like a little singe probably on its like little tuft of fur
Oh no!
near its booty. And it sails over, and like right before the impact, Estella, you like reach out like dramatically, and you manage to like gather like celestial energy. Seraphina is also like, catch that mouse, don't let it die. That's so sad. We were gonna give it a makeover. What the hell?
As you do it, it makes eye contact with you and just goes, "Oh."
Yeah. As it like kind of
gotta
like,
adopt this mouse.
yeah, it like cradles it into your like magic, and it like lands on the other side. It does like split away from Cal like immediately, but it's somewhere over there. You don't have like eyes on it anymore, I will say, but it is somewhere over there.
I still have the catnip collar, so I can smell it.
That's true. True. It's gonna do its damnedest to not get caught by you, though.
Yeah.
Alright, so you chucked the mouse over. What are we doing? What's happening? Oh, and sorry, the wild one, since you reset your previous one, right? Stella? Okay, cool. Just make sure.
Did the mouse, the reason why I threw the mouse was to find any tripwires, so does it evade it? Does it find any?
I will say it's like, it's a small little mouse. So
Yeah.
it can easily go under tripwires, and it doesn't activate any of the pressure plates, because like before when you used the pawn, it didn't activate any of it. So it is like, nothing's been triggered on the other side. But you don't really have a way to communicate with the mouse. Really?
That's true. I don't have a way to communicate with the mouse.
Besides threats, which I don't think is gonna work anymore.
True. Okay. I didn't think this one all the way through.
I was gonna say, if you guys are a little stuck, I can give you a hint for at least the fire portion.
Well, so Earl is gonna like look through his lost and found box while all of this is going on, and the mouse has now cleared stuff. And he's gonna pull out like one of those hoverboard looking things.
Okay.
And it's basically going to be a levitating hoverboard that he's gonna try and levitate over said firewall.
Okay. This is the wild, I believe.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll that.
That's a 2, and my wild is at a 2.
Okay, so you do succeed.
Yes.
You can add one to your wild.
Perfect.
What a cool old man. What a fucking cool old man. Just like,
and like
you're
at this
a little
point,
because you're old.
at this point, like he gets the hoverboard out of his box, he puts it on the floor, and he's still got his box, and he's just like, yeah, let's go. Let's just go over the fire.
Instead of riding a night horse into battle, you found your own night horse to ride into battle. You fucking clear it. You're like just a little bit over it. It's not like a huge hoverboard, like tall hoverboard, but you managed to get over it. Similarly, I keep forgetting to say this, but you do notice that your hoverboard, you know how big it is. You're small on it, which is weird. You're still shrinking. But you managed to get over it. So you're on the other side now.
He puts it back in the box, and it's like a little bit heavier than like it normally is.
Yeah.
So he kind of like has to like push it in or something. Like,
yeah.
I guess we're just gonna do the same thing that I did to the mouse and just create like a floating cloud of light to just get over the fire and join the rest of them.
Okay, yeah. So wild again.
That is a 2 again.
2 again, perfect. You succeed. You add that to your wild, and you manage to, like an elegant, like rolling wave. You manage to like clear over the fire and all of your like grace and elegance. Also, you also get on the other side. Cal, what are you doing?
Cal, you hear a voice just go, find him. And again, the same thing of like, all the cats jumping out of his sleeve, but this time they're hunting the mouse.
Okay. Okay. I will say the mouse is on the other side of the fire, and you are still on the
Yeah,
before
they're
the fire.
now
So
jumping over.
are you trying to shoot them across?
We're trying to shoot ourselves over to fight to find this mouse.
Okay, all right. Roll
Full
a
on
wild.
jumping.
Roll a wild. I need you to stop like freaking shotgun blasting cats out of you, but okay.
That's the best part of this.
I know. It's very
Oh, I dropped
entertaining.
it. Alright, let me get another d6. I dropped mine. I dropped that one. Alright, hold on.
Stop dropping them!
I know, I keep having. I want to, like, turn this way to roll, but there's no table right here.
Oh. So you're just throwing them?
I keep throwing them. 2.
A 2, okay, so, you do manage to fucking shoot your cats out of your own jacket.
Find it.
I'll say only a couple can go because you have to keep stability in your own body.
Yeah.
Or else you can abandon the trench coat, I guess, but you won't look much like a person at that point.
Nah.
So you managed to do that. That's for getting them over it, I guess. For finding, so your goal is to find the mouse, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'll have you do another wild.
Oh, do I go up in wild because I passed that other one?
Yes. Anytime you succeed, you add 1 to whatever.
Okay. That means I was at 6 for that.
So you're at 6 currently.
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. You got the scrying eye on you as you just shot out more cats.
Yeah.
And if you, so I'll let you change this to, like, I don't know how you flavor it as wizard, but you're welcome to. Or you can chance the wild, but know that you are very easily able to get caught if you fail this.
Right. Let me look real quick. This is so silly. The mouse is wearing catnip. Can I use hunch in any way?
Okay. I want to say yes, but it's also like you're using your cat brain, not your wizard brain.
That's true.
Here, I'll say because it's technically you're using both of your props, kind of in a way. You can remove 1 from wild, so you're not at 6, and you won't risk. If you fail this, you won't risk being caught. So you're at 5 now for a while. If you want to still use your,
I'll use that.
You're not using your wizard brain at all for this. You're
no, that's
only
totally fair. 100% fair. All right, let me try this. That's a 1.
A 1. So you succeed. So everybody else sees, like, I'll say like 2 cats. Sorry, 1 sec. Everybody else sees like 2 cats kind of like shoot across the firewall. You kind of have to. I will say you're still shrinking, so you do kind of have to like go upwards at this point. You guys are very small. But 2 cats kind of like land again on their feet. On the other side, and you quickly notice that the mouse is like hiding in like one of the corners, like near, essentially on the other side, on like the other chest pieces or whatever. It's just like sitting, like hiding as best as it can, but it still has that little catnip collar on. So you want to go after it? You could.
Oh yeah, totally go after it.
Okay, yeah, you shoot. The 2 other cats shoot towards the mouse, and I'll say you do manage to catch it if no one interferes. Okay, you catch.
I totally go to catch it. Yeah.
You catch your mouse again. You get it like holding in one of the cat mouses or mouths. Yeah. What else you doing?
There's no way to. The firewall is still happening, right?
It's still currently activated, yes.
Can the rest of the cats that are stuck in the trench coat, can they move the pawn back?
Yes, but it will be, like, harder, essentially.
Harder. Okay.
Because you're also smaller.
Oh,
you're
true!
smaller.
True. I forgot about that.
Which, granted, you're at 6 right now, and it was a wild again. So,
Yeah.
you would just be chancing, naturally what's happening. There's not really
true.
DCs in this game, so it's like, I can't make it physically harder that way, but...
Me trying to find a way to use frost.
I was gonna say, if anyone else wants to do anything to help Cal, you are more than welcome to in this moment. You guys are on the opposite side, but you can or you can let Cal be Cal on the other side, minus 2 cats.
Hello, please help me. I have only a part of me on the other side of the wall.
Earl is going to Earl's been watching all of this, and he's gonna look and he's going to try to cast, not simple illusion. He's gonna try and transmogrify some of the fire to like obviously not the whole wall, especially since he's smaller now. But just like a small portion to the point where hopefully Cal would be able to run through.
Okay.
And turn the fire into probably ice.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll wizard.
That's a 2 against my 2.
Against your 2, alright. You succeed. Go ahead and add 1 to wizard. You managed to cast that out, changing the little, like a small portion of the fire to ice. Cal, you see that. It's gonna be cold to go across, but you could.
I run as fast as I can.
Okay. The little pizzas that are like down below, the little beans are getting a little frosted. You do manage to get through.
That's what you hear.
You all are still, again, very tiny. You do see like the scrying eye, which is like technically floating above you all. Just like flies over the tire. But you all are on the other side. There's still like the little ponds on the other side, and then the door. But it's up to you, I guess. Just rushing for the door.
Yeah,
pretty much so.
Okay. All right, you rush for the door. I'll say that you managed to clear anything and get towards the next door. Cal, I assume the other 2 cats get remerged.
Yeah, they come in from the bottom of the trench coat, so we just kind of like shift who's ever at the bottom to the top, and whoever's. But what you see is just I stop for a second, and then like do some weird movement, and now I'm back in it.
Perfect. All right, yeah, you guys managed to clear to the next door. This is the 4th chamber, I believe. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need 5 rolls. I can roll 1 of them. So if you all want to roll, and then if 2 of you want to roll, you're more than welcome to.
I rolled a 2.
2, okay.
And also a 3.
A 3, okay.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled another 1. I'm only rolling 1s and 6s. I don't know.
Hey, look, but 1's for like the wizard and wild rolls are successes. So
true. I'm not mad about it. It's just weird. I've never had this happen before.
All right, and then I need 1 more.
Oh, I'll do it. 4.
4, okay. Oh my god, okay. I gotta look at the picture. Alright, so 2. Alright, you guys enter into a lavish study with suits of armor, paintings, mirrors, like little mini library. It's very elegant. There's a warm glow about. I won't say there's any fireplace at all, but you do see like very nicely decorated area. That one. Perfect. Okay. And then next one. The one. Okay. This one's kind of similar to the last room. It's like, again, kind of, despite being a very like elegant and very like well lived in area, you do see these like large plants in these certain like potted plant areas. Like, what's it called? You know, like the like when they like traveling vines things, where it kind of like goes outside of its like pot-ish area, but see those. Okay. So yeah, you all see yourself coming into the like lavish decorated room. The plants are all like kind of traveling up the room. Trying to decide if you would notice this right away or not. I'm gonna kind of combine some of them because they do make sense. But yeah, you guys are introduced to this room. You see like, essentially on the other side, there's like, you can't see the door, but there's like a set of staircase that you presumably, kind of like the dungeon with the ramp, presumably another door down that way. But yeah, you guys enter into this room. You should do it.
Cautiously walking through the door.
Okay.
Earl has his wand like out in front of him, just like kind of using it as like you know when if you go through an area that like looks like it's got spiders and stuff, you're trying to feel for the spider webs or like cobwebs and stuff, so it's like just like
yeah, you do that, and as you kind of like do that, you do like accidentally like hit something. There's nothing in the air, but you do hit something, and you hear like a small voice go, "Ow!" And like a shimmering effect, you see a ghostly like figure, just like kind of hovering in the air, a like.
Oh.
I don't know, it will say like an old Victorian lady.
I'm terribly sorry.
You.
I'm so sorry.
Hurt.
I did not mean to hit you. To be fair, I could not see you. What's your name?
My name? Okay, who are you? My name is... I totally have a name for this. I was
all
at
of my
Stella, and then I
NPCs.
realized that's already Ava's character. I could think of... The only name that's coming to me is used in the Portent Kast right now.
I mean, to be fair, Seraphina was in C2, so...
That's true, I didn't even mean to do that. My name is Madame Isadora. Excuse you? Who are you? Who are any of you? Where am I, honestly?
And he like, so he quickly, he puts his wand back in the box, and he quickly like rummages through, and he pulls out like one of those pocket watch looking things, and he starts doing the swinging thing, so he's trying to hypnotize her.
Okay, go ahead.
It's working on Cal.
Oh no.
She's asking very valid questions. Also, your outfit's very cute.
Thank you. Go ahead and roll a wild.
Yep, that was a 6. My wild is a 3, so...
Alright, go ahead and roll again for the consequences of those actions.
That was a 5 for the consequences.
A 5! This is our first high roll on this. The actual description is, the spell fails dramatically. So, you attempt to also add 1 to wild. You attempt to start swinging this pocket watch in front of this ghost who doesn't have a corporeal form, so you're not sure exactly what you're doing. And she just looks at you and she's like, "Excuse you? What are you doing? Why are you waving that in front of me?"
You want to befriend me, don't you?
I do not.
Oh. And he just like suddenly stops.
Cow's following along until you stop.
Well,
I have a hiccup.
my name is Stella, and I am trying. You are at. What's the name of the academy of this place again?
There's not really a name for it, but you're in
and
the
you
Wisdom.
are at there, and you are at the prestigious Wizard Academy of insert location here.
It's the Wizard City. I don't know. I don't have a name for the actual academy.
We are trying to pass our wizard exams so we can become wizards, and I guess you live in one of the rooms? This is one of the rooms of the test facility.
You see, obviously, like, she's confused, and just goes, I am just suddenly here. This is not my home. And you are all very rude.
Please give you my name and also explain what's going on. He was trying to hypnotize you. I also complimented your outfit.
Stella, you're not supposed to tell her what I was trying to do.
I didn't do any of that. I complimented you and gave you the facts.
You do see that the like scrying eye kind of like goes like to the side of all of you, and then like the little robotic voice comes out again, addressing like the ghost this time, and just goes, "This chamber is haunted. To test the participants, please haunt."
Hold on, Mr. Hold on, Proctor. I think. Did you just like get a person who's minding their own business and make them an illusion ghost for us? Are they dead actually, or are they just? It's just a hologram.
No, it looks like a ghost as far as you know. And the little eye responds back, goes, "I am not the proctor, and that is a ghost."
Madam Isadora, ma'am, what was the last thing you recall before this happened? Just curiosity.
She goes, "Well, I was seated in my normal haunting chambers back home in my own castle, and I was possessing a book for a bit just so I could read it. There's not much to do as a ghost. Okay?
Oh, you are actually a ghost, but you were just placed somewhere else. Got it. Okay.
Yes, I'm a ghost. Look at me. I'm a ghost."
For a brief moment, it did sound like you used to be alive and then you just happened to die and you were confused as to how you died type of vibe. So I was just trying to get clarification. Got it. Okay, cool.
I think she's like, I guess that can make sense. She's just mainly confused.
I'm
as
also
you guys are
confused, girl.
Yeah, that's fair. No, it is very much just like the magic grabbed whatever that was like included in the randomly generated. It just so happens that Isadora got grabbed from somewhere else. They're not good with ghosts. Ghosts are weird magic. But as you guys are kind of talking, whoever's not looking at the ghost, you realize that the vines from the plants are starting to creep towards you. And Earl, one kind of like wraps its like little tendril around your leg, slowly going up. Is there anything you're doing as it happens? Earl.
You said that the vines are crawling up our legs?
Yeah.
I would love to have the cats react, because, you know, when cats don't like when things touch them. So I think, you know how they get all, like, weird about things? I think the cats notice, and then you just start hearing, like, a from the legs up. Is there any way I could like warn myself? I'm not sure if that'd probably be a wild, but like a warning.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild, but you can definitely kind of like send the message along. I will say since you're like making noises to do the wild, because
yeah,
that's unusual.
What else would the cats do though? Cool. So a wild roll.
Yeah.
That's a 1 again.
It's a
I'm really only rolling 1s and 6s. This has never happened in my life.
And your wild is at a what?
My wild is at a 6.
Okay, so
How does
Again,
that work?
here's the yeah. So if you succeed, you still have to add to your wild when you succeed. It's not like yeah.
Okay.
That's how I don't.
Abort!
That's how it's written
Abort
in rules.
mission!
It's
Abort
still, like,
mission!
You can,
Cats, stop
but you're
feeling.
already you 6 is in suspicion. You will be caught.
If I get caught, with the one.
Yes. So you succeed in telling the rest of you. But you do notice that the little scrying eye, which was like keeping an eye out on you, had like the little eye like socket or like the eye symbol blinked rapidly, as if indicating something. You don't see anything happening in the moment. But you do have an indication that you might have been caught with doing non-magical stuff.
Can
Oh, okay, you go first.
You're like, you handle it.
Can Earl, like, is there any way that Earl notices that suspicion is like on high alert and like potentially Cal's almost caught?
Yeah, so like, do you want to do the distraction thing where like if
Yes.
cause that kind of works in this.
Yeah,
it's,
so
like,
I
mean, you succeeded, but like you could be like, I'm gonna distract the
Well,
eye.
so-
Distract the eye.
So Earl's going to actually, while this is going on with Cal, is going to cast a simple illusion so
Okay.
that it looks like Cal is not doing any of this. Like, instead it looks like Cal's just being perfectly still and like, just like, kind of whatever.
Okay. Oh, so you're using one of the wizard abilities.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll a wizard.
That's a 1.
Okay. So I'll say that does work where Cal is still at a 6, but you do see that like the blinking kind of like stops for a moment, where you think you've intercepted at least like a message that was going through. So you gave like essentially like a false alarm kind of thing from the scrying eye as it kind of like
Phew.
settled back into its like normal, like still raised suspicion. But yeah, Cal, you feel like you just dodged a bullet.
Do I notice that they did that for me?
That Earl did that? Yes,
Yeah.
I'd say. You did see like Earl doing something like wizardly, I guess. So you do think there's like an indication that like did something to assist.
Huh. I think I turn, like, you just see like the wizard hat turn toward toward Earl and just go, good work there, fellow wizard. And I turn back.
So you can add for Earl, you'll add 1 in wizard. Technically you'd add 1 for wild, but I'll just rule it as since you're using wizard stuff to assist that you can just do wizard then. Cool. So yeah, but Cal does manage to send the message on about the vines. I will say that are wrapping around. Both Cal and Earl are experiencing this, I'd say.
I think Cal definitely lets everyone know. If Earl didn't already.
Earl definitely had not said anything. He just like immediately pulls out that pen that he had earlier from his box, and he starts trying to like burn the vines.
Okay. Okay. Are you trying to do this with just like the are you trying to do something similar with like the wizarding part of it?
Yes,
or more of
yeah,
just,
the
like,
wizard with
okay.
the singeing.
I just want to make sure because
Yep.
you could technically rule it as either.
It's a 2. It dropped on the ground.
Okay. So succeed. Add 1 to your wizard again. You do manage to essentially singe a portion of the vine, and you see it like it doesn't make any noise, I guess, but you see it does like retreat rapidly back towards like the little pot area. It's still kind of like lurking in the area, but
Okay.
it does seem like it's avoiding you specifically right now. Yes.
Perfect. And then like while he's singeing it, he's like trying to step forward, like to get out of the way essentially of said vines.
Yeah, for sure.
But also
you
still
kinda,
going directly like towards the door as well.
Yes, I will say as you Oh, sorry, I'll do your thing first, and then we'll like pop back with everybody else. There's a lot of moving parts in this fucking final chamber, which is really hard for my brain. But you start like walking forward, moving past like the ghost that's been talking to Stella, and going forward, you kind of see like the lavish like paintings and whatnot. And you do realize that you're gonna start passing like this big suit of armor, and as you do, you see out of the corner of your eye as it lurches, and like steps off of its platform. Um, it's got like a rusty ass like axe with it, but it does seem to be heading towards you, like as a motion trigger kind of thing.
Solid. Okay.
What's everybody else doing as like the vines are still kind of like going around you? Stella, you're talking to the ghost who just points down at the vines at your foot.
Oh.
Just goes, "What's? You have a thing there?"
Oh, thank you. Want to attempt to do the frost nip thing and just
Yeah,
pot
for
shots
sure.
at the vines.
Go ahead and roll some wizard.
And that is a 2 exactly. So 2 for 2.
Okay, so it'll succeed, I assume. Add 1 to your wizard. You do manage to grab some like any of these like wizardy spells. You can just say like are like innate easy magic around. So you just get a little bit of like frost and kind of like push it out towards the plant that's going at, and similarly it kind of like retreats as it doesn't like the change in temperature, as plants do. So it kind of like skitters a little bit backwards.
Cool. Well, I guess we can't ask you about the room because you're not from here. Do you
I mean, I can see things that you guys can't.
like what?
The suit of armor is gonna attack your friend right there.
Oh shit.
The plants are harmful. And there's something in the ground over there. And she's like pointing towards like the near the door. As like I assume this floor would be like wood, like slabs or something similar like that. You see like a slight discoloration on one of them near the door, like right in front of it.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time. I will not bother you. I'm gonna still ask.
I feel the need to. I was told to haunt you. I kind of feel the need. Can I do like a little bit of haunting?
Sure. Yeah. Like, what you got? What you got?
I'm a little rusty, so it might just, like.
Ugh.
Oh. She like kind of like got surprised
Yeah.
a little that you reacted. She's like,
Huh.
oh, did I do that right?
I mean, I was
scared?
certainly spooked. Yes.
Okay. And I'm just gonna like follow you a little bit around the room.
Oh,
feel
sure.
back,
Yeah.
check the blocks.
Do you want me to still talk to you? Because like we can like do small talk.
If you want, I get lonely. There's not my castle's kind of abandoned, so there's not.
Yeah.
If you want, just like
small
check in
talk.
with me while I follow you.
Sure.
You.
I'm gonna head towards the door, towards like to find like the discoloration portion, and just check that out.
Okay. Yeah, she just follows you. That's how I'm ruling that this room is haunted. Just like, there's a ghost there.
He doesn't want to be there.
No. Okay, and then what's Cal doing? You have plants around you right now.
Can the cats by my feet that alarmed me of it kick off the vines in any way?
Okay. You're still kind of ruling in the wild, and I know yours is still.
It's still high.
Wizard? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't.
To be fair, if you use a prop that you have, you can lower your wizard or your wild.
Your wild.
I was just thinking that, but the only way that I could think of that is the mouse wants to really help Stella through. So it chews away the vines from Stella so that they can have a clear path through, but it would only help Stella through.
I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of a reach to help you.
It's not gonna help me, that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna help me. The mouse really only wants Stella.
But,
And
it's a wild and gross idea. So, in your wizard skill, there's acid. And you have thrown up stuff already. We could rule it as it's damaging.
That is true. There's also harm, and claws and bites I feel like are more harmful toward the vines than.
Well, yeah, I mean, harm is more ruled that you're using some kind of magical energy still. Like, it's still wizardly. Anything that's not wizardly is wild. Anything that is, like, wizardly. So any kind of, like, magical by the book stuff. So, like, you could do harm, but we're gonna, like, rule it as, like, you know, familiars have, like, residual energy from wizards. So you could say it's that.
Yeah.
But it won't be, like, claw attack. It'll be, like, magically enforced claw attack.
Okay. Alright.
It just depends on how you flavor it. I don't want to sound like I'm saying no. It just depends how you flavor it is how I'll roll it.
Yeah. Because I think they already grew up. I don't want them to keep them.
You don't want your cats to throw up more? Is that what you're trying to say?
The thing is, like, how... Okay. Oh, no. This is even worse than throwing up. Because you know how cats mark their territory?
Oh.
Don't look to all of you.
What are you saying at me? What are you telling me?
All of you looked at me with such disappointment.
What? Yeah, what? Are you peeing on this?
If it's vines, come on. Can they pee on it?
Yeah, because it's near your feet, which is technically your cat feet, which is technically the down. So you could have a stream just flowing from top to bottom. You'll smell gross later, I'm just saying. That's just gonna be a natural consequence, because I want that.
9 cats and an opossum in a trench coat. I smelled bad from the beginning.
That's true. That's true. You smell foul. We didn't include that in the details. I need to add some stink line into your character art.
Right. It's just a stinky little guy.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'll reel it as, like, I assume you're trying to use, like, the acidity kind of thing or whatnot.
Yeah.
Or harm. You know, whatever you want to do. Just go ahead and roll a wizard.
Roll wizard, you said?
Yeah.
That's a 4.
A 4? Okay, is it a 5? Or no, 6?
5.
5?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm trying to remember, because your stats are... Your wild is in 6 right now, correct?
Correct.
So, since you use wizard, you get to reset your wild to 2.
Okay.
So you're no longer in danger to do more cat stuff.
Good.
So you do succeed on your wizard, so you're gonna add 1 to wizard. So technically now you're in 6 in wizard, but
okay.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I hate that I have to say this. You piss on vines. You piss on the vines. There you go. Definitely wizards.
On the vines so
you know,
hard.
Wizards are notorious for one spell, and that's pissing.
Wizards are always known for piss.
For one spell, and it's pissing. Yeah,
favorite.
you similarly you do that. The vine does not like that because that's not good water. That's foul. That's awful. And slithers away from you. It was like right on the cusp of like grabbing you and like lifting you in the air. And you managed to get it to go away. Yeah, I mean you're no longer in danger of that. You do have Stella with the ghost going ahead. You see Earl is going in the suit of armor has just lurched forward. So yeah, what's everyone doing now? You got the I will say the suit of armor is like getting ready to like swing kind of thing.
Yep.
The suit of armor was swinging at Earl, correct?
Yes. So you both see that it's like getting ready to like.
Can like 2 of my cats escape from the coat and try to shield Earl? Because Earl helped me that one time from the scrying eye. I want to repay that. So
for sure. So are you trying to use the wizard shield one?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you don't technically need to get the cats out for that. I will
Okay,
say, unless
okay.
you really want to. I just feel like you're so eager to just dispel all of your cats into like a random
I just
scatter.
want to protect the person who is protecting me. So
For sure, but yes, you can use shield to help Earl out. Go ahead and roll wizard.
So wizard's at 6. What do I want?
Again.
You're technically not supposed to be rolling because you're gonna risk shit.
But if I said like the cats escape, is that wild?
Then I'm not. But it's not gonna do what shield does. It's gonna be you're using your cat's bodies and gonna cause them harm. If it was wizard stuff, I would be like, oh, it casts a shield and it shatters after one hit because that's what it's called in the description.
Yeah.
If you physically use your cats, you can. I'm just saying, you're making me nervous.
Okay, you know what? I'll roll anyway because I do want to protect.
Or you could do
Earl.
kind of like a distraction-y thing with your cats. I'll rule that as wild too.
What kind of distraction-y thing could I do?
The thing where cats like do the like crazy around the head thing, like yeah, like. Just
I was thinking like how cats will get in between people's legs.
That too, because I don't think the suit armor
Yes!
has eyes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the armor is just armor, so I don't know how effective cat scratches will be, but it's moving forward, so you can. I would rule out that like you could trip it up if you want.
I would love to trip it up.
Okay, go ahead and roll me some wild.
The cats are homicidal towards my mouse boy, but they don't deserve to get harmed.
a little bit. That was a 4 though, and my wild is now at 2. So
it failed.
It failed.
Okay,
yes.
go ahead and roll
another
D6.
another
D6. Yeah, another D6 for the effects. Consequences.
That is a 3.
That still failed.
I did my best, Earl.
Spell works, but with a negative side effect. So you're going to add 1 to wild, naturally. So you do manage to get the suit of armor to stumble, not full trip, just stumble. However, I'll say that your cats are kind of like stuck between its like legs, kind of like its feet a little bit. Where it's kind of like, like the cat's in between and then it like went like this. So you're like, you might harm one of your cats is what I'm saying. I don't want to harm any animals in this, but like,
I hear you.
It's stuck. It's similar to like the claw thing in the force field. We're just gonna say it's stuck so that I don't have to harm any animals really.
Yes, the cat's a little stuck.
Yes. So Earl, you do have like a moment before it's gonna like try and continue. If there's something you'd like to do.
Yes. So while that's happening, Earl's like sifting through, and he takes out it looks like a little metal kind of round thing, but what it's one of those like items that when you click it, it turns into a big staff.
Nice. Okay.
And so he's going to use that to like try and disassemble the suit of armor. Okay. Go ahead and roll wild. That's a 3 to my 4.
3 to your 4. Okay, so it succeeds. Add 1 to your wild. I don't know how you're doing this, but okay. Here, I'll say that you can like pop its like helmet off kind of thing.
Okay, so then it just becomes a headless suit of armor.
Yes. But you think that might be helping you in this case? Like,
perfect.
Maybe there's like an innate thing where like it can't see, but it like, has some direction that is now lost because you like popped it off.
Okay.
So there you go. I'll there's like a middle ground I'll go with.
Perfect.
For sure. Okay, and then Stella, you said you were coming over. Is there anything like you were doing off the cuff, or are you just trying to get more of a? Or no, you were going to the.
To the little like weird thing happening on the ground.
For sure. Okay. You get towards it. You see like the little discoloration. You see that there's like, essentially it's like a slot that that can slot under the rest of the door, and something will come out.
Yeah, she'll move that so something can come out.
Okay. You. I I keep giving you things to like press and stuff, being like, no, you won't, and then you do, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with that. You managed to like get it to like spot it out, and essentially this like, what is it called? One sec. I gotta go relook at it. A huge stone obelisk comes right on up in front of you. It towers a little bit over you, and you do realize that there's like engravings on, like runic magical engravings on it. And you see, starting from the bottom, it essentially starts lighting up kind of slowly, as if like starting up. You don't know what that means, but you've activated something.
Can I hunch to see if I can get like maybe a vibe as to something's happened? Like what's happening?
Go ahead and use Wizard.
That's a 1.
Okay, so it succeeds.
Yeah.
And once you're a wizard, you realize that this is an ancient obelisk that shoots near deadly lasers at anything that moves.
Well, okay.
Literally what it says.
Let's see. Is there a specific pinpoint as to where it shoots the deadly beams from?
You see kind of like the one that's like facing you. It's like, cause like obelisk, it's like a kind of like a geometric shape.
Yeah.
So every face kind of has like a little pinpoint, where there's like another like little runic space where it seems like the lasers will shoot out. Not all at once. It seems like it will like fire off a couple different, like at different spots of time.
Got it. Okay, cool.
I would say there's like, cause it's in front of the door. There's not one on the near the door.
It's just
They're
in
trying
front
not
of
to
the door.
destroy that one.
Okay. I would like. Is there a mirror near me?
There are mirrors in this room. Yeah, I'll say that there's like, they're pretty hefty ones because they're like wall mirrors. But there's like one like kind of on the wall near you. Sure.
This is gonna be very, very chaotic. I would like to, in my position now, not moving, do a wild move, and essentially from her robe, she's going to radiate light, and she wants to essentially use the mirror reflection to bounce light onto the obelisk, maybe blind it or like damage it in some way.
Okay.
I don't want to die, even though I don't think we can technically die in this game. I don't want to die.
Nah, you'll just be pooped into the regular world. Yes. We're gonna get to that though. Okay.
Okay, cool. Take your time.
Because I need to resolve one other thing, which is the
Yeah.
fucking suit of armor before I get to the obelisk. I didn't think you were gonna go towards it right away. I don't know why. So the suit of armor, we got. Did Cal fully go over there, or is it just like the two cats?
Just
Or
the
one cat?
just the 2 cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're witnessing like that your cats kind of are stuck in there. So if you want to hop in, you totally could. You do realize that towards the door, a huge freaking stone obelisk pillar thingy is now booting up.
I would love if the mouse, my familiar mouse, could escape and just help Stella. He's there for Stella.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, because the mouse is technically your hostage. So if your cats were like, if you want to like let your cats be like, oh, I look away for 2 seconds.
They're focusing on the cats that are that could be hurt right now.
Mhm.
The 2 cats that escaped, so that the mouse could take its chance to run to Stella.
For sure. I never thought you were like, yeah, I'm gonna let the mouse escape. I thought it was gonna be like, the mouse finally escaped. All right, so yeah.
In this moment.
In this moment, the little mouse like wriggles out of its little pouch. Do you still want the collar on it?
Yeah, the collar's still gonna be on.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna do a dramatic thing, but
You can do whatever you want.
no, I was just gonna like a breakaway collar. It like finally realized it's a breakaway collar. And it's like, No, but it's fine. It manages to leap down from you and dash over to Stella to foreseeably help or aid in some way. And then the suit of armor. So Earl, you kind of like dehelmeted, decapitated it. It does look a little like confused as it can't figure out where it was going to swing now. But it is still
Perfect.
there and kind of like stuck in between moving.
Yep, that's perfect. So as Earl had hit this suit of armor with the pole weapon thing, he still has his box in his arm this entire time. He puts
Sure, of course.
the weapon in his hand that's holding the box, and he's rummaging through real fast, and he pulls out what looks like to be pepper spray, and he tries to, but instead of pepper spray, it's like freeze spray essentially. So
Okay.
it would freeze the suit of armor. And
Okay,
so he
yeah.
tries to utilize that.
Okay, go ahead and roll a wild.
That's a 2.
A 2. Okay. You
But
succeed.
I
at
am
one.
now at a 6 for wild, so.
Alright, you are under suspicion. As you like whip out a little bit of freeze spray, spray it on down. You see it like crystallizes on those it's metal, so it spreads fast. And you see
like,
that you kind of
Cal's 2 cats are like underfoot of the suit of armor, right?
yes.
So while this is going on, while he's spraying, he's trying to gently kick said cats, like to just not kick, but like nudge
I know,
them,
you, like,
and
nudge
just like,
them.
okay guys, okay, you guys need to go this way so you don't get frozen. Okay, thank you, bye.
They start doing the cat thing, like if you're using the bathroom and your cat's in there, where they kind of like nudge against your leg. But now they're, instead of the suit of armor, they are nudging against Earl's leg, where it's like just a lot of like this.
They transfer from the suit of armor to Earl's legs. As you're like spraying, you're like trying to shush them away, but as cats do, they don't listen and they get closer to you. And as you kind of like spray it down, yep, you see like the freezing effect kind of like pass over the suit of armor. It doesn't seem like you, how do I say this? It's not like completely frozen, but it is like slowed down essentially. Like it's not like rooted to the ground, but you've essentially like stopped the like joints of it moving. So it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, but like if you leave it there long enough, of course, natural temperature will thaw it out.
Sure, yeah. So while the suit of armor has frozen, essentially, Earl takes like at most 30 seconds to a minute, sets his box down, puts the big pole back into little mini size, puts that and the sprayer into his box, and then like picks up both cats that have been going around his legs and puts them into the box. And like one of them sits on like a car alarm that's in the box that's not magical at all. It's just like a car, like a key fob, but like it's an alarm fob thing. So like one of the cats sits on that, so that starts going off, and he just like picks the box up and starts booking it towards Stella to try and get away from this frozen suit of armor.
Okay, I love that. I'm just imagining the cats in a little lost and found box. That's so cute. Okay, so you're heading towards that. Cal, are you following? Or you...
Oh yeah, I'm following where those 2 cats are going.
Okay. You start following after, and then we're gonna pop over to Stella, who's trying to use fanciful, finer things energy, right?
Yeah.
if I remember right. To reverse laser this, I assume.
Yeah.
You also have a little mouse friend helping you.
Yeah, you feel like as you're like getting ready for this, you feel like a little actually no, you like look back and you see like cinematically racing across the the room to you, just your little mouse friend. And then yeah, is there to assist in however you want him to, or it to. But it's also
Moral support.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how much it could do with your celestial energy beam, but so now we're gonna go ahead and roll that wild to see you can kind of like beam it.
Hey, 1.
1. Okay, you succeed. Add 1 to wild. You manage to channel your energy. You hear your like patron essentially like cheering you on as you can hear also like crunching of popcorn somehow through your connection.
Because I used the robe, is it also, can I decrease the wild to back to what it was, or how does that work again if you're using a prop?
So you can actually just remove one from wild.
Yeah,
Or
I'll do that.
I think I was reflavoring it as you could also do that for wizard as well if you wanted to.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can take that off. As you like surge that energy, it pings off of the mirror into. Were you trying to do like the base of the body, or are you trying to do like one of the lasers? What kind of thing?
If I could just sever it, I'm assuming it would just stop the lasering from happening in general. So maybe just, yeah, severing it.
And you rolled what was it, 2? 1?
A 1.
A 1. Okay, yeah. I'll say that it's a powerful enough beam that you managed to not quite sever it, but you eventually managed to like poke like a hole like through the like actual like obelisk. So like the inner workings might be really fucked up at this point now. And yeah, I mean you see like the powering up stage begin to essentially like glitch out. As everybody kind of like rushes towards you.
To leave now. We need to leave now. I fucked up. I activated a thing. I paused it, I think. We need to leave.
Right?
I mean, I didn't fuck up. I wanted a show, but we still need to leave.
So are you all leaving? Okay. Yeah. As you go to like rush to the door, you all like look behind you and realize that the obelisk is like you've essentially like shattered the inner working, but it had energy that it was like firing up to, so it's about to explode. But you do manage to like rush out of the door through the like final portal. The eye kind of like speeds its way towards you all, like also not wanting to be blown up. You hear like the effects of an explosion just as you kind of like close the door. As you all kind of like tumble out into essentially the same door that you entered in. This time, almost like not much time has passed, and kind of tumble all out into the general like wisdom area. You see, Mirage has kind of just been like waiting for you both, or you all to return.
The mouse that has escaped and is, I'm assuming now on Stella's like shoulder, I think at this point is going to remove its collar or try to chew through it, and is like using Stella as protection.
Let me help you with that. That thing, it looks so gaudy. And she'll help remove it. I don't know why you're wearing that.
Yeah, Seraphina like makes like in your pocket so it's not as obvious, like a little like jeweled like necklace instead. Like it's not like a collar-esque thing, it's just like for pretty decoration, of course.
This is so much your color.
Yeah,
put it around him.
Yeah. The mouse is just on its hind legs, just standing really proudly.
Aww, I love this mouse. The main character in my book. Yeah, you all kind of like get out into the field, you know, take a breath after a near-death experience kind of thing. You see that Mirage like was like checking out things on her like list. Looks a little more tired as all the paperwork she's been doing. Looks at all of you three and just goes, "All right, well, you made it out alive, which is pretty high marks already. Let's see how you all did." And she goes to the scrying eye that followed you all out. And you see that she kind of like knocks on like the little like screen part at the top, and it what is it? Basically like opens up, and you see a small little frog wizard and like a little wizard hat and his own little clipboard. Just hand off like some like little papers that she's been like working on, like recording what was happening and whatnot. You hear just like a little ribbity sound, but it seems like it's been translated in Mirage's mind somehow. She's kind of communicating. She like Mirage, she goes, Okay, interesting. Oh no, a false alarm. Okay, that's unusual. All right. I mean, it did succeed all in the end. All right. She begins to like checking off some stuff of like criteria as the things, and then turns to all of you and goes, "Okay, well, Biddy said that you did it, so congrats. You finish your practical exam. We'll go over some additional paperwork, but essentially, you are registered wizards. You have access to your magic and can go on and do whatever you like. We will do obviously periodical check-ins to make sure that you're not abusing your power, yada yada yada, making sure that you have not expired license, etc., etc. But congratulations to our newly appointed wizards. Woo.
Earl takes this moment to reach into his pocket and throw the rest of the glitter out into all of us.
Cal goes, I did it!
Again, you could probably just do a royal we, but okay, cool.
Okay,
What do you mean?
and, like,
There's just one of me. There's just I. There's no we. Ha I did it! Is that my mouse?
No! This is my mouse.
You're right, that's a different color than what I had on my mouse. Where did that guy get to?
it's like the glitter kind of like, encases everybody, including Mirage. She's just like, okay, all right. She's like, I'm gonna have to wash that out later. And then yeah, essentially we'll like hand off like temporary, kind of like a temporary license kind of thing, temporary like certification and license to you all to eventually get like properly submitted and whatnot. And yeah, and you guys are definitely wizards now.
Totally a wizard, yeah.
Awesome. And that's about it. We have our new wizards, newly appointed. Congratulations, everyone. You didn't manage to get in wild magic jail, which is a big accomplishment.
Oh, thank goodness.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this episode of A Summer of TTRPGs, the good old whiz quiz. We hope to see you for the next one, and may the dice guide you to beautiful friendships and maybe, possibly, definitely wizards. All right.